A couple of things before we get started. A word about Insight. Insight is a tool that was created by faculty members and graduate students from the University of Auckland in New Zealand, from the Department of Statistics. So if you want to send them a thank you note, I believe that there is an about section here and you can contact them through it. I would encourage you to thank them for this wonderful open source and free tool. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that Insight comes in two different versions. One of them, you can download it to your computer, and there is a version for each operating system. So I have it actually installed in my computer. So I'm going to just search for Insight. I'm going to launch it, and you will see that Insight is built onto the R programming language. So before it launches, Insight launches the R console, then R loads Insight, and then Insight will be eventually appear in my screen. There you go. So this is the interface of Insight for the Mac computer. So if you want to install it in your computer, just go ahead and download it from here and then test whether it works. So far, what I have heard is that it works really well on Windows computers. It's a little bit more difficult to install it on a Mac computer. So when I install it on a Mac computer, for instance, there's some sort of conflict between Insight and the current version of R, of the R programming language, which may cause some trouble. So if you install it in your computers and it doesn't work, go to the About section or the Help section of the website and contact the developers, because they will send you a little script that you can add into R that will make Insight work in your computer. Fortunately, even if Insight doesn't work, there is another version that we all can use, and this is the one that I am going to use in these tutorials, just because it's identical, almost identical to the one that you can install in your computer, but works directly on the browser, and it is called Insight Lite. So I'm going to click on that, and Insight Lite will be launched. So I have both of them available, right? When I am online, I use Insight Lite. When I am offline, I use the version of Insight installed in my computer. So that's the first thing to consider. So Insight Lite is opening right now. It's taking a little bit longer than expected, just because my connection is not that great. There you go. So then you will have this little intro to what Insight is about. Here you have the contact information in case that you want to collaborate with the team developing Insight. As I said before, they are a great team, and then they deserve all our praise. Now, the second thing is the data sets that we're going to use. So I have copied them in the same folder where you can find all these videos. I am still recording the videos, therefore you will not see them here in this particular video. But the data sets are here. You will see that there are two files. One of them is an Excel file, and the other one is a CSV file. The one that we are going to use for the exercises is the CSV file. A CSV file is a file that is called comma separated values. So in this file, even if it looks like an Excel file, this is basically a text file in which the variables are separated by commas. The Excel file is the one that I'm going to ask you to open up first. Okay, I already have it opened here in Excel. Here you can check all the variables that this data set contains. You can see, all of the variable names over here. And then you will see that the data is county by county. So these are the county names, this is the county code, etc. The first tab on the Excel dataset is a summary of what the variables are. So this here is the column names of the dataset. Some of them are pretty straightforward. So for example, there's one called C percentage Hispanic. So this is the percentage of Hispanic population on each particular county. But some of them are a little bit obscure. For example, there's one called DBKT percent Dem 16. So what is that about? Well, you can refer to this tab from the Excel file, and this will tell you what that variable is representing, the difference of the Democratic vote between 2016 election and 2012 election. So it's a difference of how much Democratic vote increased or decreased between 2012 and 2016. So always refer to this tab from this file whenever you have questions about what a particular variable is. But this is not the file that we are going to load into Insight, the one called County Data Incl 2017. The one that we are going to load into Insight is the second one, the one that has a new at the end. This is the comma separated values file. And this is almost identical to this other file. The only difference is that it only has one tab, which is the data tab, right? I removed manually all the other tabs, and then I exported the file as a comma separated values file so we could import it into Insight. And that's the first thing that we're going to do. I'm going to go to the file menu, import dataset. I'm going to show you how to import a dataset into Insight. All right, again, it takes a little bit to load. Oh, before I do that, by the way, Insight comes from us with a series of dataset examples. So if you don't want to load any particular dataset, if you want to just practice with the tool without using any personal dataset, you can go to dataset examples, and here you have examples, and you have dolphins, you have a Facebook dataset, you have a salary dataset, and then if you open this up, you have something called Future Learn, and this has a Canada population data set. You have a Gapminder data set. This is a data set put together by a wonderful researcher and doctor called Hans Rosling through his website, Gapminder. That's gapminder.org. And this is the data set from Gapminder. It includes variables such as obesity rates all over the world, fertility rates all over the world, etc. You have another Gapminder file here. I don't know what it contains. All right, so you can explore all these data sets and use them to use the tool. But if you want to use the one that I created, just go to the File menu up here, Import Dataset, Browse. I'm going to find the dataset. I have it on my Dropbox folder. I'm going to find the folder where I have all these videos, which is Insight Tutorial, County Data New. All right, remember that is the second one, the one that has a CSV extension, and just let it load. It's going to take a little bit long because it's a relatively big data set. So as long as we are online, this is going to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to stop the video over here while the data set is loading. And when it finishes loading, we will continue and start exploring our data set.